Relatively new treatments claim to remove fat without surgery.
Medical stories where all the academics that we spoke to agreed that the procedure works if it is used on the right patient.
Freezing your fat, is it possible? Well, I can tell you, my sister did it, and in this video I will show you all the results and explain the science of this entire procedure. At the end of the video I will show the entire result of my sister. So let's dive into it right now. What's up guys, Fardine here from WolfingPhysique.com, and today, I am not kidding, my sister freezed her fat. At the end of the video I will show you the results, and it's quite shocking, and she's not even done. So before I start, please like the video, subscribe for the sake of the algorithm and to help this channel grow. And I gotta say guys, uploading every day is like very hard because I have to do a lot of research and drink a lot of Monsters now, oh my god, and fasting my socks off, but it doesn't matter. At least I do what the hell I love, right? Before I heard about fat freezing, I thought by myself, what is this? Is this like a scam or something like that? So with fat freezing, a piece of your skin, including the subcutaneous fat layer specifically, is sucked into a machine with a strong vacuum for like 35 minutes. And then that piece of skin that is like vacuumed is in a temperature of like minus 11 degrees Celsius or something. But as a result, the fat cells cool down to like 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. And after this, they just stop and then they massage the piece of skin for a couple of minutes. It's quite interesting, and that something like this even exists is shocking to me. So in our bodies, we have like fat cells, and in those fat cells are triglycerides stored. And later in the video, I will also tell you how we get these fat cells and what kind of effect it has on your mind, your hunger, etc. But fat cells are specialized for the storage of energy in the form of triglycerides. So there is the research in the last few decades has shown that fat cells also play a critical role in sensing and responding to changes in systemic energy balance. Fat cells are formed in the developing fetus during the third trimester of pregnancy and later in puberty. And this is specifically when the sex hormones really kick in. It is during puberty that the differences in fat distribution between men and women begin to take form. Each fat cell will replicate or get bigger during this time. So fat cells are the building blocks of our adipose tissue, and fat cells can store fat and get stretched. So in the fat cell, there's coming fat in. But please, make no mistake, your fat cells can still replicate and you can gain more fat cells. But this is like, when you have a fat cell here, and the fat cell can get this big. It can get this big. And it's like this. And it's at this point, eventually, it's like a balloon. It will pop and then boom, there's another fat cell. But then you have to overdo it. So it's very hard to do that, but it's still possible. So for example, kids that are obese have more fat cells than children with a healthy weight. Seems logical, right? But when you lose weight, the number of fat cells does not decrease. They only shrink, but they do not disappear, even when you are an adult. Fat cells will always be there. But the only thing, when we are dieting, the fat cells get smaller. But the fat cells will always be there, so the potential to get fat will always be there. So fat cells are vulnerable to protect themselves. They build an exterior skeleton, and during weight loss, the fat cell loses fat, causing it to shrink. But the skeleton then has to shrink, but adjusting the skeleton takes a lot of energy. And energy that the body already lacks. So the cell then has to endure stress. The easiest way to get rid of that stress is to let the fat cell grow again. That is a reason why overweight children often have too much weight as adults and really have difficulty with losing weight. So that's why I never really blame people who are fat. But make no mistake, this is no excuse for you to be fat and think you have to stay fat. Many studies exist on fat freezing. Unfortunately, many of these studies are not useful for drawing conclusions. A review looked at like 319 studies on this topic and eventually conducted an analysis with only 19 studies. And the results seem promising because the conclusion was it does work. But unlike liposuction and other medical procedures, fat freezing also appears to be safe. Until this date, there have been no reports of scarring, inflammation, or change in blood fat levels, cholesterol, or liver enzymes. So in short, it's pretty safe. So let's just say you did your procedure. After the treatment, the fat cells are seen as abnormal, like they should not be there, and then the body makes sure they die. So the fat cells are cleared by the body in like the first 8 to 12 weeks after the treatment. And the results of my sister, I will show you right now, is this is the before one and this is the after one. You see a clear difference, and this is something that is just astonishing to me. So our genetics, we store a lot of fat on our love handles. So it's interesting that she can reduce that. But I gotta say, this is not making you healthier. If you want to get healthier by losing fat, you need to lose a lot of visceral fat, and it's the fat that's inside of your body, like around your organs and stuff. But the sub-Q fat under the skin, if that necessarily makes you healthier, well, if you have a lot, okay. But if you're like a healthy body fat and you do a fat freezing procedure, it does really change a lot. And like I said, you can still replicate your fat cells. The only thing you have to do is eat shit for a long time. So I'm quite curious how this entire procedure of my sister will turn out. But as we can see, it works, alright? This is done without dieting. But I gotta say, it's like targeted fat loss. It's like, so we thought that targeted fat loss is not possible, right? But if you freeze it, it is. But I also talked about this in another video. I explained it in this Tristan Lee video, where I said how he can be shredded and you can't. But he came out that he couldn't really be shredded and he felt like shit, but we thought he didn't. But it's like, I already explained it in another video. I do not want to make this video for so long, but I gotta say, this is quite the interesting result. And like I said, fat cells develop in our puberty and when we're kids. So that's why kids that are like fat mainly become fat later in life. You can lose weight, of course, but some people have a harder time managing their hunger at a certain body fat. Some people really have a difficult time. How I felt at 9% body fat, maybe someone else feels some 25% body fat when they come from 50. You know what I mean? But my recommendation, bro, if you want to lose fat and get shredded or something like that, you just need to diet, exercise, be healthy, and stay patient, man. That's just it. I gotta say, if something comes easy, you will not really appreciate it enough. When you work hard to get like shredded, and well, you are humble with the results and you have to stay humble. So guys, stay humble. So guys, for online coaching one-on-one with me, hit that link down below. Like the video for this channel to help it grow. Comment down below. Tell me what your thoughts are. And I see you tomorrow. Much love.